Hi guys, essentially sorry about the last video, the game crashed. Nothing you can do about that but restart. So let's do that. Essentially we're going to continue our quests.
This is communications disruptor post west. Contacting east. Do you copy? Western communications disruptors are secure. Get some guys over to the eastern towers before those nutcase patients attack.
Oh yeah, those guys will have a little surprise. That's the fun bit about the mines. They can do a bit of damage. Essentially we must click on this antenna. And of course the guards won't let us. So I will just defeat this one guy, and then I will use distract. So even though the guys are beating the crap out of me, I can... Oh, it still wasn't enough. Usually distract is enough to protect you while you're clicking on a thingy like an antenna or a console, or... But in this case it wasn't enough. I guess it reminds me why I never really used it before. There's powers and abilities at some point that you're gonna stop using because you're gonna find them useless. Or not useless, but not as useful as other abilities. But usually when you do that, you end up doing like what is known as min-maxing a character.
Without that monitoring station, Lex will have to track down those patients one by one.
So essentially, you always go for the most powerful abilities, and you always avoid the less powerful abilities. That's a bit why I like playing with essentially iconic characters, or already existing characters, is that it pretty much gives me a reason not to min-max. So let's say even if an ability is very powerful, I will not use it if it doesn't fit with the character. There's exception, like there's sometimes I'll use abilities that don't really fit the character because there's so much you can do to handicap yourself.
LexCorp's gladiator suits are running off a highly unstable
But
power
ideally,
cell.
if I can stick to things that more or less fit the character, I'll do that. And sometimes for certain characters, I'll use abilities that I would never use normally. So let's say there's some acrobatic move that I never use. But with some characters, like let's say with a Batman character or a Daredevil character, there's some acrobatic move that kind of work nice with those characters. There's probably one or two that I might use with this Wolverine character. I still didn't make up my mind yet. I guess we'll figure it out as we go along.
Go ahead, punk. My day.
How did I get here? Wait, where am I?
It's go time.
This is Lois Lane for Daily Planet Live. Lex Luthor announced today that the new metahuman medical wing at the Metropolis General Hospital, which is entirely funded by LexCorp, will also be entirely staffed by LexCorp as well. Despite the protests of numerous human rights groups, the wing currently remains open to metahumans seeking treatment for what Luthor terms their unique needs.
You little punk!
You may notice, essentially we're done with the mission with the vehicles. We destroyed like the amount we needed to destroy, but we still have the yellow circle telling us that oh no, we weren't done. Okay. See, I thought we were done with the mission, but apparently we weren't, which is good. As you noticed, like the mission wasn't anymore in my quest tracker, so I didn't have any let's destroy that many vehicle in my quest tracker to the right. I still need 2 gladiators power cell. I could probably get them in the next part of the mission, but just to be on the safe side, let's get it while we're here. And here's our gladiator. So let's complete our mission.
This is Lex Luthor. You just disrupted research that would have helped.
Ooh, and we got some
human
Krypton
beings.
Guard
You've
Claw.
clearly chosen to follow that alien Superman rather
So
than
let's
advance
equip that.
humanity.
So we're going to be a
Don't
bit more
expect
powerful.
mercy. Luthor.
Essentially, I'm putting these items aside to when I'm going to re-imprint my armory. So just to avoid some confusion, when I'm going to re-imprint both my armory, just to make sure that I don't mess up ideally. And as you can see, I pulled a couple of security guards without meaning to. It happens. And it took a few seconds for the entrance to the wing to appear. That too also happens. And as you can see, the mission is no longer selected for the quest tracker, so we'll select it.
Sorry about that. Oracle is blocking any more
And I will
transmissions.
enter. I think I will switch to DPS once more. So as you can see, since I didn't imprint my new equipment in my armory, it did switch a bit. So let's take this mission
there are
here.
people trapped in tubes inside the hospital. Metas, but still people.
And let's get started.
Calculation completed.
Go ahead.
So essentially, just switching armory will give us a bit of extra damage. We probably could have done it without the extra damage, but why not? Essentially, we don't really have access to our debuffs ability yet with the controller. I'll explain at some point what the debuff is, but essentially we don't have access to our higher ability as a controller. So pretty much all we can do at this point is give some power, like give some power over time. Which is not that useful when you're by yourself. So, might as well be a DPS and have a bit of extra damage instead. And even as a DPS, with thanks to some of our abilities, we're going to regain some power anyway. Essentially, they gave all the DPSs certain abilities that will give them power back, which is good in a sense. But sadly, what it does is that it makes the controller role not as useful or as necessary as it used to be.
Whoever's in charge, so they can stand trial for these crimes.
So you found my metahuman experiments.
Like in the past, I used to play mostly as a controller because as a DPS I would pretty much drain my power bar, and my power would almost always be empty. But now with the way the DPS works and the way you can get power back with certain abilities, it's not as big an issue. The power bar of your controller, of your DPS, is pretty much always full anyways. So essentially here I have to find Dr. Psycho.
I see you.
Essentially the little bugger becomes invisible, and I have to try and find him. I think I'll try something else. Usually what I would do with certain characters, I would go like full auto. And I would just blast all around me. Oh, there he is.
Ollie, Ollie, I'll come free.
Oh yeah. So essentially if I put out a few mines, it should help me find him when the little bugger is trying to hide himself.
Nicely done, but we've
There
only
we go.
just begun. See you soon.
So let's take our green exclamation point.
Chief Researcher's Journal. Always wear insulated gloves when handling cryotechnic samples.
Oh yeah. There's usually a little chest hidden here. There's 2 or 3 places where the chest can be hidden in this mission. So don't be afraid to look around. Oh, and why not? There's a little healing barrel here. Let's not let it go to waste. Let's use it right away. And here we go. As you see, I pretty much depleted my power bar. Essentially, I did not use the battle display power. And that essentially the battle display is the power that gives me power back. So if I don't use it, I'll run. My power bar will be empty pretty quick. No reason why I destroyed this. I just felt like doing that.
Sometimes I think there just isn't enough of me to go around. Time to change that. How about a little more me?
So essentially there's a lot of those little buggers. Ideally you want to go with abilities that will target multiple targets.
It's been a real blast.
Or that will have an area of effect like this. So that you can affect multiple targets at once.
To burst your bubble. There she blows.
Sadly with combos, and especially long combos, you can pretty much get interrupted before you can reach the end of the combo. that's the payoff, I guess. You got a chance to do more extra damage, but you run the risk of not being able to complete your combo.
Out goes the weasel.
I guess it's one of those risk versus rewards situation that we see sometimes. Ooh, 25 orange barrels. That's another reason why whenever you see a barrel, don't be afraid to destroy it. You need it. As you see, there's these. Essentially, there's what is known as meta-humans. Essentially, humans with powers who are captured and prisoner in those tubes. Ideally, if you liberate them, they will help you out. They will help you fight those guards. The guards themselves are pretty tough sometimes, but when you have friends helping you, it's a bit easier. Sadly, they don't really stick around. They seems to leave at the first opportunity. So you try to, if there's guards around, they will fight the guards. But once there's no more guards, they'll just leave. So ideally, you try to pull the guards to where the prisoners are, so that they will start fighting the guards, and to make sure that they don't leave. That seems to be it for the guards. Let's take our little exclamation point here. There's these little consoles also, but they're part of a mission for villains. So if you're playing a hero, you can activate them. It won't really hurt you, and you'll hear some recorded message, but it's not really useful for a hero character. You don't need to activate those.
You have no idea what it's like to be me. What gives you the right? You think you can stand in judgment over me? Time for you to walk a mile in my shoes. One day, all these heroes will be my slaves. Today, their mere image will be your death.
For the glory of Gaia! Crypto will be sad he missed this.
Oh, you're gonna have to fight Power Girl, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman. Of course, it's not really them. It's illusions that Dr. Psycho is summoning. But still, again, Psycho will be invisible, and you have to find him. And also, there'll be a bunch of fake Dr. Psycho, like a bunch of illusions that looks like him. So you have to try and find him. Oh, that's an illusion. Oh, there he is. Essentially, you can try to lock on him, but essentially sometimes at some point, when he becomes invisible, you're no longer locked on him. But you can get back to being locked on him pretty easily. Again, the best way to deal with him is to just throw some range attacks. I don't bother running after the little bugger. I just spam a range attack at him. And a sticky grenade should help. Oh, we got a new chest.
How can you resist my illusions?
Let's take our little exclamation point.
Chief Researcher's Journal.
Again, if there's a barrel, no reason not to use it. So let's use it here. And then let's free our friend Supergirl.
Thank you. Dr. Psycho weakened me with kryptonite and stuck me in this red sunlight cage. I think he even took some of my blood. I have to go talk to Superman. Thanks again. Maybe we can talk when I don't feel so sick.
And we're going to skip the cinematic. There is a feat. I think there's a feat to gather these little thingy. Where is it? Okay, there it is. See this little thing here? If we take it all the way down here, we can put it in here. Essentially, it's like radioactive waste. So if you take that radioactive waste and bring it to the waste disposal machine, the mission doesn't really tell you that, and there's no quest tracker for that. It's essentially you have to look into the feat section to know that. Like essentially, if you go into the feats, well, the deeds, the feats, and then I think it's the solo. Is it the solo feat? Iconic. I think this is it. No, that's not it. Not it. Sadly, there's a lot of feats, and it's hard sometimes to keep track with all of them. That's not it. It should be in here somewhere. Oh, that's the one, I think. So essentially, we have to find the hazardous material and incinerate it. No, yeah, I had it before. I'm not sure why I didn't realize it was the one. So essentially, that's the only way to really know that you have to do this. It's to look through the feat and find the appropriate feat. Early on, I wouldn't worry too much about those things. Of course, if you know that you have to do it, then sure, do it. And now that we've put all the canisters in there, let's incinerate them. And there we go. And we got the feat. Early on, I shouldn't worry too much about it. I would just play the game, and as you play the game, like you've noticed, we didn't really grind for feat and for skill points, and still we did manage to gather quite a few. So at this point, I wouldn't really worry very much about those. Which power should I take? Let's go with this one, Intimidation. Not sure if I really will use it. I don't really have... Oh yeah, let's use it instead of the taser pull. The taser pull is kind of a useful ability, but it's not Wolverine-like. I'll put the sticky grenade here instead. And here I will put the intimidation. Essentially, intimidation just does that and makes your character do a bit more damage. It's all pretty much all it does. I guess it's going to be used as our Berserker Rage for our Wolverine. So essentially, we have to manually complete the mission.
Only he would place a madman like Dr. Psycho in charge of a humanitarian project. Thank you for
and we have to
saving
go
Supergirl
back and see
all
Dr.
Lex's
Charles
victims.
again. I'm not sure
Get
if we
out
got
of there and
some.
we'll talk soon. Superman out.
See, we got a plan for vitalization and power alpha, so let's go back to that. We got some new. We got a new chest piece, so let's use that, and let's put this here. We got a few items like a bed for our base. Not sure if I'll think about it. I may give it to another character with whom it matches better. Essentially, we're done here, so we're going to go back to the police station. We're going to go collect our mail. And what do we get? Oh, isn't it sweet? So we got a sweet little neck piece. That's a bit better than what we had, so let's use it. Also, let's take this opportunity to sell a few things.
Star Labs' goal is to keep our allies equipped with the most advanced technologies.
And I'll do it for now.
Star Labs and Metropolis thank you for stepping in at Metro General. As long as Lex Luthor is hurting and exploiting people for his own gain, we will always need heroes like you.
Commissioner Gordon needs your help in Gotham. Meet him at the East End Police Station.
Essentially, we got a trinket that's going to give us a few boosts to some of our abilities, and once in a while, we're going to be able to use it to get 31 extra might to our characters for about 10 seconds. So essentially, like this. It's not that useful, but it's better than nothing. And usually the missions will make you go from Gotham to Metropolis to Gotham to Metropolis as you proceed. Yeah, so get used to traveling around a bit. And let's go back to our base. Essentially, whenever you have to go from Gotham to Metropolis, sure, you could use the teleporter in the safe house or in the police station to be able to do that more directly. But instead, I'm going to go back to. I usually go back to my base because usually you need to re-imprint your armory if you added new powers or if you changed your equipment. You pretty much have to go back anyways. So, and you pretty much have to re-imprint both your armories. So the belt, the ring, the weapon. This we already did. The little necklace and the chest piece. And as you saw, we're going to need a blue exhibit mod for our chest piece. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and we got a new power. So for the other one, I took the intimidation power, but for the controller role, I will take instead the defibrillator. That's the great thing about the armories is that you can have multiple build if you wish to. And also, I'm going to keep my Tombot. Essentially, here what I have is a Tombot. It's a little robot that will help you in battle.
Keep your friends close and your enemies
So
closer.
for the controller, I'm going to keep this little thingy instead. So there we go. And essentially now we have a bunch of gear that we don't really use anymore. So don't be afraid to make sure that you don't have a mod yet still in those pieces. It happens sometimes that you'll salvage something that oopsie, there was like a blue mod or a red mod in the piece. So let's try to avoid that if we can. So let's make a new mod.
Wrestle Black Adam to be stuck with you.
For our chest piece. Come on. I'm not sure if you notice it. There's a bit of a lag. That those menus are pretty laggy sometimes. So let's do a dominance one. Dominance won't really be helpful for our damage character, but in troll role, it will help a bit. Essentially, dominance will help the troll abilities. Why? As you can see, it's very, very easy to mess up with the armories and having your equipment being all messed up. I've seen people who deleted the wrong gear or in the past. Luckily nowadays we have these little these little symbols in the corner telling us that it's the piece is assigned to an armory. So that's how I knew that something's fishy. Okay. So let's sell our old gear. And you saw I have like a yellow vitalization mod thingy. It's for the generator over here. So if you see in the yellow department and in the yellow compartment, there's room. So let's put that there. But since I did not activate the generator yet, it doesn't work. So let's change that. Essentially, I will just replace the first lithium cell because I don't need the other two yet. what the cell will do is that you see it activates like the first row of mods here. So that vitalization 3, which gives me 2 extra vitalization, it actually works now. Yeah, some of the value is very low and doesn't really matter, but well, why not use it? So essentially, I could start buying stuff in the mainframe. Like I could buy a sidekick or a backup or an orbital strike, supply drop, tactical mods. Depending on the character, like I mentioned previously, how sometimes I could have maybe the habit of mini-maxing certain characters. So one way to not to mini-max the character is to go with something that fits the character. Like if this was, let's say, a Batman character, I would go with the sidekick instead of the backup. Although technically you could find reasons for both to work. The sidekick would be obviously Robin for Batman and Robin. Although the backup could be the Batman Knights, like those robots that Batman uses in Kingdom Come. So both ways could actually work if you really wanted to. The orbital strike essentially is a huge ray that comes from the sky that will do damage to everything it hits. It's pretty useful in some cases. The supply drop essentially will drop orbs that will give you back power and health. And the tactical mods essentially are extra mods you can add to your gear, assuming you have the slots for. Right now, there's no way to actually to use the tactical mods. There's nowhere to put them. The tactical mods is something I'm going to be able to use at level 30. And you saw I have the occult bed. I could consume it and put it in this space, but I think I'll give it to another character with whom it will fit better. So I guess that's it for now for here. Oh, I think we're going to go fight some clowns. So since I started using the generator in my base, I'm going to start getting mods for it. Essentially, it's mods that I'm going to be able to put in my generator that will allow me to go to more places with my teleporter. So let's see what they have here. So essentially, I'll go into the mods. And I'll go like Gotham. And it will give me all the various mods that have to do with going to Gotham City. Like I could go to Gotham City Hall, Gotham and Metropolis. No more Gotham. Essentially, there's this mod that I could buy that would take me to Gotham and Metropolis, but it's $20,000 and I don't have that yet. Personally, I prefer to buy one mod for Gotham and one mod for Metropolis because essentially the menu for the mods, if you get already the menu just for Gotham is pretty long because you have all the places in Gotham where you can teleport. Then the menu for Metropolis is very long. And if you put the two of them together, Gotham and Metropolis, holy crap is the menu long. So I usually prefer to have I usually prefer to have one mod for Gotham and one mod for Metropolis, but I guess I'm the only one because almost no one sells those mods. Oh, here's one. So let's take that. The other mod I usually buy is the one that allows us to go into other players' base or other players' league all. And sadly, it's also $20,000. So I guess I'll buy that later. And last but not least, there's a mod that allows you to go into the various DLCs, I guess. Essentially, with future DLCs, you get access to more maps. And as you get access to those maps, Legend Warfront, okay. Essentially, as you get more access to those maps, you'll want to go there with your teleporter. I guess I'll buy it right away because it's there. So essentially, once I start getting access to Metropolis or to some alternate Gotham City or alternate Metropolis or to Central City, I'll be able to use my teleporter to go straight there as opposed to having to come to the Watchtower and then to find the proper portal to be able to go there. So slowly but surely I'll be able to use to have access to more places thanks to my teleporter. Oh, lots of people dueling tonight. Okay, so let's go talk to the commissioner. Oh, and first, let's take the Booster Gold mission first.
Exploration Adventures with Booster Gold. I'm Booster Gold.
Essentially, as you go up in levels, the Booster Gold machines or dispensers will give you more and more, missions.
We can talk later.
Yeah, I talked to the wrong character.
Batman says you're the one to solve the situation we've got down at Amusement Mile. Move out. I'll meet you there.
This is Batman. Joker's clowns are turning the old Amusement Mile theme park into a riot zone. Gotham PD is overwhelmed. I'll track down the Joker. You take care of his clowns. Batman out.
So we gained one more skill point. I'll probably take a few minutes in a future video to explain a bit more about the feats and skill points and what they actually do and how important they are. The thing is, it's a bit of a controversial issue. Some people think that skill points are the most important thing in the multiverse. Another thinks that they don't matter, and it usually leads to a heated debate on the forums, on the DC Universe forums. But at some point, I'll try to talk a bit about that issue.
Listen up. Joker clowns are holding cops hostage over at the old roller coaster. I need you to get those men to safety.
So Gordon gave us a mission, so let's get to it.
What's this? Has an uninvited guest stumbled into my toxin testing ground? So sorry I can't be there to welcome you in person. Enjoy the party, if it doesn't kill you first.
A little bit of trivia. Essentially here you have to take the bomb and go and throw it in the river. That seems to be something inspired. Oh. Freaking crown. Essentially that seems to be something inspired by the Batman TV show. The one with Adam West from the 60s.
Call for backup.
Essentially in the Batman movie, you have Adam West, Batman, who has to try to get rid of a bomb. And that seems to be a wink and a nod to that bit in the show. Those white dudes are pretty they're pretty tough. So as you see, we have to capture some clowns and carry some bombs. Again, in the same area, there's a handful of different quests that you can do in parallel. It's pretty much like that through a good chunk of the game, but at some point, whatever quest you'll have to do, there will be one quest in one area that you're gonna have to do. Or you're gonna do what is known as instances. Essentially, it's going to be one area where there's only you and your group, and you're gonna have to do your mission without any other players.
You're gonna die.
As you can see right now, the intimidation power is not all that useful in the sense that you're pretty much one-shot the clowns. So getting an ability that allows you to do more than one-shot them is a bit redundant since you're gonna kill them anyways. But it's something that can be useful against bosses, and also it's good to take the habit of always trying to cast a power every X amount of seconds. Essentially, whenever your little starburst disappears underneath your name, it's nice to take the habit of always casting another power to get it back. It's a good habit to take, so that later on you won't forget to use it. Well, it maybe seems silly to forget to use it, but sometimes you'll take certain bad habits and it's very easy to take to start developing bad habits and to be stuck with those habits for a while and to break away from those habits. So ideally, if you can take good habits right from the get-go, it's a good idea. So we got a new pair of boots, which is pretty much similar to the boots we have. Essentially, we could gain some health and some might, but we would use some precision. I'll prefer to keep the boots I already had.
The brat one that refused to smile.
So now we're gonna have to break some gifts and try to find either some police officers that are trapped in the gifts, or some robot jokers that are hiding in the gifts. And sadly, that one was neither, so it didn't count. Oh, so we got one officer. So we have to find 5 of each, and depending on how lucky you are with the random number generator, it could take a while to get all 5 you need. Police officer. If you see the big golden clown there, his name is Full House. It's like a robot clown, and he's pretty tough. Oh, is he going to attack me? No. Full House it's too tough for me right now. He's you have to be at least level 30, and in some of the bounty you have to be also a full group level 30. Just one guy won't be enough.
This is the police.
Let's stay here. There's another quest right here that we can do also, aside from the gifts.
Of course, you know this means war.
Okay, we still have a few Joker clowns, Joker bots to get, but you can see there's those clowns here. They're holding police officers hostage. So let's free the pool guy. We even have more gifts here, which wasn't what we wanted. There's this. Fighting on the roller coaster can be tricky a bit. It takes some getting used to. Oh, there's an enemy player. There isn't as many players in the open world as there used to be. In the past, it wasn't rare to get into fights with other enemy players. But for at least since last spring or early last summer, and even worse on PC, on PS3, on PS4, it's still not that bad, but on PC, it's essentially being in the open world is pretty much like being in a single player game. Very, very often, you're the only guy that's there. There's many reasons behind that. One of the reasons would be that when there's a new DLC, people will play that new DLC, and often new DLC will have their own areas for you to play in. So that's where some of the players are. Because you saw, we see a few other players once in a while, and we even fought one villain player, but there isn't many as many players as there used to be. Hopefully the crossplay that they're planning to do will help us out.
Of course, you know this means war.
We're gonna have to wait and see for that. Essentially, they're planning to do some crossplay between at least PC and PS3, and apparently they're going to also make an Xbox version. Oh, here's a little bugger attacking us. Oh yeah, victory! Oh, I didn't want to click him, but sorry about that. In the heat of the moment, I pressed X just as he was dead, and I ended up clicking him. It's pointless. It doesn't give you anything anymore. Once you defeated the another Prometheum logbox, so it's number 2 for now. So essentially, once you defeated the other guy, that's all you really need. You don't need to click him on top of defeating him. It's pretty much useless. But there are people who are so proud of defeating you that they will click you. And also another thing you will see often is teabagger. If you don't know what a teabagger is, I envy you. But at some point, like pretty much 90% of the players in this universe were teabaggers. It's a bit annoying, but you kind of get used to it. Again, it's pretty similar to the gloves I already have, so I will not use those new gloves. And I will keep my lockbox for later. So we still have 27 days for this one. Oh, there's an enemy player. Let's go see if we can attack him. Oh, it's the same guy. In the open world, you pretty much have to grow eyes in the back of your heads. Because you never know when people are going to attack you. That's one of the things I love about the open world. Is that you always must be on your guard. There's early at some point there was almost an adrenaline rush that you had when playing. Because you could always be jumped by anyone. Oh, is he gonna try to avenge his friend? Looks like that. Let's see who it is. Seems to be gone. Okay, so the next step of our mission. We could finish we'll finish the roller coaster later. We can go into the fun house and rescue our friend Robin. There's a guy here. Oh, poor guy. I won't attack him. I killed him twice. That's enough.
The Joker's clowns have got cops locked up in cages. Cute, huh? Help us bust them out.
As you saw, it took a while for the NPCs to spawn. It happens.
Go set them loose if you can.
So let's use our friend the barrel, and let's attack. Here there's a bunch of stuff. There's clowns everywhere. There's a bunch of balloons, as you saw. There's cops trapped in cages. There's more gifts. Usually there's dogs hidden in the gifts, but there's also we need to find police officers that are trapped in gifts.
Man down.
to go clubbing with a 30-pound mallet. Nice outfit. Did your mommy make it for you? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Don't let those guys get away. Don't let those guys get away.
You're not Batman. I wanted to kill Batman. Don't you have a cat in a tree to save? Beat it.
I'm hit.
Of course you know this means war. Don't you have a cat in a tree to save? Beat it. If you need help, press the start key. If you're gonna go with a big kaboom. Ha 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 ha.
This is the police.
Oh, we need one more police officer.
You're not Batman. I wanted to kill Batman. Please hold while your request is processed. Are you a client? Say yes. Please repeat your request. This is the big one. Goodbye, cruel world. Nice outfit. Did your mommy make it for you? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
I guess the random number generator decided to make us work hard for our third police officer in the gift. It's okay. There'll be more gifts.
You're all right, buddy.
Over here, there's a console that you can activate. As you'll see, essentially there's you can see all those clowns on there. If you just activate this console, it gets rid of all them clowns. Not sure what the point really is, because I don't know. I haven't seen if it doesn't seem to give you anything extra other than not fighting those clowns.
Of course, you know this means war.
Scanning. Tell me if you've heard this one before.
And I mentioned how those wags are tough little buggers. Okay, let's take our point while we can. Why not use that healing barrel? As I mentioned before, there's no real reason not to use the barrel. it won't take away anything from you, and you need it for the feed.
Calculation completed.
And again, there's another console here that pretty much does the same thing. It will kill all those clowns in one shot. Not sure what the point is, but anyways.
Don't let those guys get away.
You're not Batman.
Another freaking clown.
I wanted to kill Batman. Nice outfit. Did your mommy make it for you? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. You are a threat. If you're gonna go with a big kaboom. You're gonna die.
And one more feat. And here's our last cop we're looking for.
Damn it! Step right up, kid. Give him one for us. You're gonna die.
We're pretty much done with the quest with the cops, but each cops we free from the cages pretty much will give us a hand against those clowns, so there's no real reason not to free them. Ah, crap. I wanted to bring that barrel. That's okay, doesn't matter. I don't know if you've noticed, opponents seems to be getting a bit tougher than they were early on. I think I will keep that barrel.
Don't let those guys get away. Regroup.
Okay, so let's bring our little friend over here.
Prove it. What are we talking about again? Lookers left. Let's make it right.
If there was a time to use the trinket, the time was now.
X's over the I's, add a little something. Nighty-night! Permanently!
I could show you the formula, but then I'd have
And now what you've been waiting for, the Wolverine versus Harley Quinn fight.
But you get the idea.
As you can see, she's going nuts with her hammer. Just blocking kind of helps. Although they changed it, she used to spin before. I guess people thought the spinning animation was annoying or something. I'm not sure why they changed it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you better run, you clowns. So essentially, we capture Harley Quinn.
Let me go!
And we go save our friend Robin.
Rights, you know. Mr.
Thanks for the
Tail,
help.
get me out.
Not that I couldn't have
Just
gotten up by
you
myself.
wait.
Yeah, eventually.
And we'll skip the cinematic.
We've got the formula.
If I could, I would leave the would let the cinematic play, but you guys won't be able to hear it.
I'll take care of the Joker.
So essentially, we have to go back to see the commissioner to finish the mission. But we'll probably go try and finish the roller coaster mission first. So let's see the loot we got, the rewards we got. So we got a plan for Dominance and Might Alpha. No reason not to use that. We got a new ring. That's pretty much the same as what we have. So a little bit pointless. Oh, we got a new belt. The belt is interesting. And let's use our little crafting station. So we're going to be able to take the mod from here and essentially get the exobits back. And then we're going to make a new Precision Alpha mod that we can put in our belt right now. And we can equip our trinket back, and there we go. So essentially we're gonna have to go back to our armory to re-imprint both our armories. Oh, and we got a playhouse bed. In the past, there used to be players that would park themselves at the exit of missions, so that as you would come out of the mission, there would be already 1-2 dozen players waiting to beat the crap out of you. And sadly, on PlayStation 3, the loading time could be pretty long. So sometimes you would be dead the second you would spawn, because while you were loading, the enemy players were already seeing you, so they would essentially defeat you before you even had loaded your character. Ah, crap. But there doesn't seem to be that many players left to do that. And as I mentioned, it pretty much, sometimes it feels almost like a single player game these days. So you see less of those things. And I have to admit, as much as I kind of miss sometimes fighting the other players, I don't miss when they're pretty much acting like D-bags. Oh, we have a few officers here, so let's try and save 1 or 2. So let's use our distract in case a clown tries to hit us while we're saving the police officer. Same here, or the beat. Oh, there's an enemy right here.
Officer down.
And there he goes. Ah, crap. He's going to beat the crap out of us. He's much stronger than us. It doesn't seem to be hostile. I enjoy that when it happens. It doesn't happen that often. Not sure why he's following us around. Let's try to trick him by disappearing. That's one of the useful thing of stealth in this game, especially in player versus player, is that they lose track of you on the minimap, usually. I'm not sure why he didn't kill me at first and then decided to chase me, and I don't really care. Ideally, you just get away from there. Oh, are we done with the cops? Oh yeah, we are. See, the guy he seems to be still looking for us. I don't know if you've noticed, essentially, instead of his level, he had the number 0. That pretty much means that he was in full PvP gear. So odds are, even if I had wanted to fight with him, probably would have been no match for him. And as you saw, like the couple of hits I gave him, that did next to nothing. He's still looking for us, is he?
I'm hit. Ow! That's smart. Har, har, ha, ha, har, har.
One of the thrill of playing in the PvP open world when you're a low-level character is to try to avoid the high-level characters. And nowadays, you only start in the PvP open world at about level 10. But in the past, you used to be able to create your character in the PvP world. So you would essentially be level 4, and you would have these level 30 players literally trying to hunt you. And at level 4 you don't have your fast movement mode, so you can't really escape from them by just going away, by just trying to speed away. So you literally had sometimes to maneuver between buildings and between obstacles to try to escape, essentially. But the good thing is that once you learned to escape without your fast movement mode, holy crap, you could almost escape from anyone. No player could defeat you if you just wanted to run away. There was this one time when I had made I think it was a Joker character, and there was this player, or I think it was my Doombot. I had made this Doombot character, Doombot 2099, and essentially it's a Doctor Doom, but as a robot, if you get the idea. And there's this guy who decided to chase me, and they really want. Oh, here's our friend, I think. Yeah, there he is. See how there's a 0 next to his name instead of his level? And now he seems to be looking for us. He's level 34. We can see it with his robot sidekick. So level 16 versus level 34. I don't think I could be a match for him. As good as I would like to think that I am, or as powerful as I would like Wolverine to be, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to outmatch him. So let's hide from him a bit. It's been a while since I played this game of cat and mouse. Oh, I think he saw me. You're not completely invisible when you're in stealth mode. You're mostly invisible, but sometimes some players will be able to see you if you're fairly close to them, or if there's a few abilities that will increase your perception. Let's try to lure him over here. As you saw, I could damage him a bit, but there was no chance that I would defeat him. Oh, and it's a teabagger. Holy crap. Sadly, there's these losers are a dime a dozen. It was so he's level 34 and was so proud to have defeated a level 16. The sad thing is when you play this universe online, sadly you see a lot of douchebags and losers. I don't know if it's the nature of the game itself, or if it's MMOs themselves. No, it's not really MMOs. I've played Lord of the Rings Online before this universe, and I played Dungeons and Dragons Online, and I haven't seen this many douchebags. The people when I played this universe online, the Dungeons and Dragons Online and Lord of the Rings Online. Players were helpful. When you were a new player, they were trying to help you, and they were helping you essentially learn the game and make your complete your missions. And the players were very helpful in those games. Sadly, in this universe online, there is a handful of helpful players, but holy crap, is there a lot of douchebags. You'll see them as teabaggers, or if you pay attention to the chat box, you'll see a lot of the crap that they'll say. And as you saw, like the guy was way higher level than I. And he was so proud to have defeated me. It's pathetic. So you can imagine how if I had defeated him, holy crap, he probably would have been mega pissed. Oh, here we have another poster. So let's take that. Oh yes. So essentially you have to defeat 5 players. Like there's already one for Metropolis, there's one for Gotham. So once you defeat 5 players, what do? You complete your mission and you come back to the poster to take the poster to take the mission again. There's a feed also for doing that. I think it's 250 times or something like that. There's some that kind of numbers. Oh, that looks pretty. That's a nice. Almost looks like Doctor Doom. Pretty cool. Oh, and a pretty cool Iron Man or even War Machine. Despite the limited character creation, the limited options at character creation, and even the limited options you get later on, there's some really nice looks that some people can create. Sometimes people will recreate existing characters, and they end up doing a pretty good job.
Now that Batman has part of the toxin formula, we're one step closer to shutting down the Joker's insanity.
There's a lot of people who try to create original characters. I have a handful of those, as well as all the Iconics one I have. The problem with an original character is that it ends up looking generic. It ends up. I know that a lot of people pride themselves with their original characters, but essentially they end up looking like all the other supposedly original characters, which are pretty much all looking pretty generic. Oh, okay. So essentially, you can see the chest piece is not as good as the one we already have, but under the style, under retro tech, it says not collected. So I will collect it just for the style, and yeah, might as well. Might as well go back to my base and re-imprint. So let's see. Okay, we have a new PowerPoint and a new skill point. So let's go into weapon for a skill point. So essentially we will complete our, right now we have 2 of 3, now here's our third one. So we won't be able to put any more points into this one. So we'll start putting points elsewhere as we go, as we keep on getting them. And we only have 11 skill points yet. But we'll have like we can have up to 230 something. I think that's what the max is. I can pretty much guarantee you that we won't reach 200. So for our next power, we'll go get the. Essentially, I'm trying to go to the napalm grenade. So in order to be able to get there, I'll take the vortex cannon, which I won't really use. It's just the power I'm trying to get until I get here. Essentially, once I get the napalm grenade, I will replace the sticky bomb with it. Because the napalm grenade will do 2 things. The first thing is that it will give me 50% extra damage. And of course, also the grenade itself essentially explodes and does damage, and it puts the enemy on flame. So while the enemy burns, the enemy gets damage. But also using the ability gives us 50% to all our damages. And also it works with battle awareness. So if I use battle awareness and then I throw the napalm grenade, not only will it do all the things I already mentioned, but it will also give me some power back. So it should be at least a bit useful. I don't know if you've noticed the colors of the paper doll. The paper doll is pretty weak. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's been doing that ever since I've got my PlayStation 4. It's not a big deal, but it's a bit disappointing, I guess. So let's change to our troll armory. And then our troll armory we will equip the belt, which we didn't have yet. Or did we? No, okay. So we'll equip our belt, our more powerful belt. And we will go assign our power and skill points. So for the skills, again, I'll stick to powers for now. And I will use the power critical skill. And now that I've put 3 points into that skill, I will have 1% chance to do a critical. Which means that I will, when I do a critical, I will give out more power. And for the powers, essentially for the powers, I will try to get this grenade here, which is the gas grenade. Essentially, it will reduce enemy defenses. Although I could take this one here to reduce the damage the enemies are making. Why not? Why the hell not? So essentially I will replace in my loadout, I will replace this with the sticky bomb. And I will replace this with the paralyzing dart. Oh yeah. And I will replace this with the defibrillator. Okay. Essentially, why did I switch all those powers? The defibrillator will allow me to give power to other players. So when players need power, I will be able to give some to them. To at least the three players who have the less power, I will give them some power back. Also, it will also increase my might and precision for a while. So it will not only will I give them power, but also I will be able to do more damage. So it's not bad. Essentially, this dart will paralyze the enemy for a bit, but also if you notice, there's in some of those powers you'll have like a bit of text that says control role. That's an extra ability that the power does when you're in that role. So it will reduce the damage that enemy will do. So it will stun him for a while, and if somehow he doesn't get killed while he's stunned, well, for a bit he will when he attacks, he will do less damage. Here, this is a little drone that will give the whole group power. It's a supercharge, so I can only use it a limited amount of time. So this is our uber powerful stealth ability, which I showed already. This is the distract ability that allow us to resist some damage and sometimes to click some clicky. And we have the sticky bomb, which is essentially our damage over time, our power over time. So when we cast this, our friends, the other players, will get a bit of power every 5 seconds. So let's imprint all that. So now that we've imprinted both our armories, you can see that the belt we had no longer has that little helmet in the upper left corner. So we can go sell it now for a few dollars. Essentially, any items that you've used, you have no choice. You have to sell them to the vendors. But once in a while, you'll have an item like this that says, at the bottom, it says integrates when equipped. When an item says integrates when equipped, usually you can sell them in the broker. So you can go to the broker or the auction house, depending on what you want to call it, and you can sell those items. There's not a lot of those items that you can actually sell. And it's usually no, it's not true. I was about to say it's usually weapons, but not. You usually have various styles that you can sell, but it's only a handful of those. Although you don't have to sell them, you could decide to give them to another of your character. So essentially, when an item says integrates when equipped, you can put it in your shared bank. And if you have another character that uses hand blast that could use it, well, he would be able to use it. But in this case, we're going to go and sell it and hopefully make a couple of dollars. Because as you saw, the thing is, you don't need that much money in DC Universe Online. Essentially, right now I have about $8,000. That's plenty for repair and to buy sodas, colas as I need them. But sadly, as you saw in the broker, things can get pretty expensive. So essentially, you don't really need money for the game itself. What you need money for is for the broker. If you want to buy things in the broker, whether you want to buy collections or whether you want to buy styles, the sad truth is that it will cost you millions in some cases. So if you want to buy those, you have to play the game. You have to play the broker game, I suppose you could call it, in the sense that you're gonna have to buy and sell stuff from the broker in order to build up enough money to buy the things you need or the things you want. It's not because you don't. Odds are maybe you don't need all those things. So essentially, for the blasters, I will deselect usable by me because I want to see that I cannot use that blaster. So I want to be able to look at that all the blasters that are all the Synthium blasters that are for sale. In order to be able to do that, I have to deselect. I have to make sure that it will not show me only things that I can use. Let's try Synthium blasters. All. There we go. Did I misspell it? Could be. I guess not. Those are very common, probably very common blasters, so I'm not surprised that there's none for sale. But let's go see just to make sure. See, there they are. I'm not sure why. Yeah, probably I had made a mistaken blaster or something. So you can get some for $1,000. Yeah, so I guess the lowest price is $1,750. So there's no way we can sell it more than that. So let's try, let's say $1,000. If it doesn't sell, it's not a big deal. Essentially, the deposit is only $56. If it sells, well, we made a bit of money. If it didn't sell, well, we barely lost anything. So it's not the end of the world if somehow it doesn't sell. So essentially we have to go back to Gotham for our next mission. Unless we have other stuff we could do here. We sold everything. No, that's pretty much all we really need to do here. So let's go back to Gotham. And did I go back to Gotham? Wrong teleporter. It happens. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. So we want to go to the East End police station. Nowadays it's more convenient. They added more location to the teleporters. But ages past, you had to teleport. Let's say you wanted to go from the East End police station to the Chinatown police station. You couldn't just teleport from the East End to the Chinatown police station. You had to teleport from the East End to the Watchtower, and then go to oh, there's a villain who's attacking us, I think. You can see how brave he is. So essentially, in order to be able to go from one police station to the other, you had to go. You had to go through the Watchtower, which meant way too much loading time. Especially considering that on PS3, holy crap, was the loading time taking forever sometimes. It's not as bad on PS4, although there's still some loading time. But it's much better than it used to be. Although for some games, holy crap, the loading time are crazy. Like on Destiny, sometimes to go from one place to the next, you have to go through half a dozen loading screen. And holy crap, some of them take what seems like forever. Anyways, enough rambling about loading time. Essentially, we will end our video here. So, but next time, stay tuned for the very first Batman Wolverine team up. You've been warned. No, it's not true. Nah, maybe next time. We'll see. So, anyways, I'll leave you at that. Thanks for listening, and have a good evening or a good night, depending on where you are. And I'll see you hopefully guys next time. Bye bye.